So the NES Mini, a lot of people really liked. They had a lot of great games on it, from Mario 2, Mario 3, Mario 1, and every other game else that's on it. Now, people also, way more people, also loved the Super Nintendo Mini, the Classic Edition, for its great games like Super Mario RPG, Super Mario World, Mario Kart, Super Mario World 2, and all the other games that are on it. So, needless to say, the the next Classic Edition console Nintendo's going to come out with are going to be great. Whether that's the Game Boy Mini or the, well, N64 Mini. I think people are expecting the Nintendo 64 Classic Edition to be the next announced thing. There's been a lot of rumors, a lot of, you know, fake leaks and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to talk about before, well, more news came out, because I like to speculate. I talk about stuff about the PlayStation Classic Edition, the PlayStation Mini, a bit, and a topical punch of what I wanted to get from that, and obviously, you know, I may talk about it in a separate video. We'll see. So I did have a couple of ideas, and it really kind of hit me, though. The N64 Classic Edition, it's probably going to be a bit pricey, and, well, here's why. One, you look at the SNES Classic, and that was about $80, I think, wasn't it? Now, I could be wrong if I'm remembering, but the NES Classic, that was like 60, 70, supposedly, before the scalping. And then the Super Nintendo Classic was slightly higher than that. And with the PlayStation Classic coming out, that's $100, which is a lot more than the other games. And I kind of see the 64 Mini heading in this direction because, well, there's a lot more complex games on it. And that means the hardware is going to be more complex than just having the Super Nintendo and other pixelated games. This is like full 3D, so you have games that need to run with a higher processing power, more megabits and blast processing. You know, games like Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, and what other big games they have on there, especially ones that use the expansion pack, like Majora's Mask, or an graphical expansion of Pokemon Stadium 2, and other things kind of like that. Another thing that I think will drive price, and this is not for just like a base one, I'm talking about more colors. Now, they could have different ones that are more rare than others, which I can definitely see happening, because the big thing about the 64 was that, sure, the base model was black, but you get a lot of a variation of colors from that, from Glacier Blue to Great Purple and Atomic Red and other just fun colors out there that it's hard to see a 64 Mini and not having that option, because that was just a big selling point of it. There's so many bright controllers. I love my yellow one over there, my yellow Hori. And going off of controllers, another thing, 64 big thing was that it was a party system. That means 4 controllers. That's a lot more. That's twice the amount of Super Nintendo and NES, which means that's more controllers that you're gonna have to buy. I don't see them packaging the system with 4 controllers. 1, maybe 2, because the controller can be a bit bigger than the SNES controller. So they might only package 1. If you have to buy multiple, that's probably, what, $20 a pop, maybe. I know Nintendo's likes to jack up the price, and if they're gonna be different colors, at least 4 different colors, then, well, yeah, that's gonna be a bit more. And speaking of also on controllers, a big thing that they released during the 64 era was the Rumble Pack. Now, that means these controllers are probably going to have Rumble Pack functionality, and that's just more hardware they need to put in. And they could leave it out, but, man, that would suck, because that was such a big thing of the 64 when Star Fox 64 came out. They even released Mario 64 in Japan with Rumble Pack functionality, and that kind of shows us how big this feature was, and it really was a mark on the console's legacy. Now, Nintendo seems to be really good at kind of keeping the legacy of the system and really giving it treatment it deserves, as shown with the other previous Classic Edition consoles. So I can definitely see them actually adding the Rumble Pack just as much as I can see them kind of omitting it, because it's not, you know, the pure console, but I would hope, very hope, they added it. Now, number of games. If they add more, could they up the price? It's definitely a possibility. Are they going to add 64 games? Probably not. That'd be amazing. I don't know if I can even guess 64 games. I don't know if I own 64 games. 64 games over there. Could it be 20? It's, you know, it's possible. I could definitely see them going that way, because you had a lot of kind of titles on the NES Mini, you know. But with the SNES Mini, you had a lot of really great games. No filler, except for maybe Kirby's Dream Course, but you had a lot of big games on there. So I can see the 64 Mini, especially with the hardware. They wanted to really crunch the titles down. So, it's a possibility. I'd love to see 30 games, if not, honestly, more. But there's a lot of Mario games, especially the sports titles like golf and tennis, which I hope they don't fill it with. But that leaves a question to rare games. Are they going to add rare titles? Because that was a big thing on the 64, and we see some stuff on Virtual Console like Donkey Kong 64, but there's other games that are huge hits on the console that, you know, we see on Xbox system, like Banjo-Kazooie, or like Perfect Dark, Conker's Bad Fur Day, games like that really do belong. It's kind of hard to see on the console, but it's also hard to see it without it. It's like having no Crash or Spyro on the PlayStation Mini. Haha. Yeah, it's really dumb, but that's another question we have to think about. And if that's the case, are we going to have to get the rights for these? And if Nintendo has to do that, will that affect the price of the console? And now the SNES Classic also had Star Fox 2, and that was great, first actual official release. With that said, are we going to get Ura Zelda? There's plenty of videos online you can look. You are a Zelda Up. Kind of look into that, of the project that was supposed to be an expansion of Ocarina of Time that was never made. I don't know how far into the process it got. Apparently got like fairly far, but we haven't seen anything of it with the expansion drive, the disc system, whatever you want to call it. What was it called? Disc drive. Are we going to get that? It's, you know, who knows? It could be a possibility. But if anything, the F-Zero X expansion with the track creator, we got to get that. That will be amazing if they include some sort of additions from that, because I don't think we're going to Hey You Pikachu in terms of weird 64 games. So adding at least the expansion of F-Zero X, I think, will be great. Urizel will just mind blow everyone. But these are a lot of factors that could potentially increase the price of the 64 Mini, and there's a lot. Now, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo kept it cheap, but I'm kind of under the impression that it may be closer to 100 when they do announce it, as opposed to 80, let alone 60. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on what games I would like to see on it. I could. If you want me to do it, please let me know in the comments below, or hit me up on Twitter at Janjo Brand, all of which will be in the description below. So let me know what you think about, well, what I just said. Let's have a discussion. Let's talk about it. Are you hyped for a 64 Mini? Do you want to see it? Would you prefer it over the PlayStation Mini or a Game Boy Mini? You know, let's get into the discussion, down and gritty. So until then, have a nice day.